Hello, hello. All right, we're gonna wait for everyone to get here. This is a weird setting. All right. Hmm. There we go. Hello. Just adjusting everything. All right. Okay. I think that will work. All right. Hello. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hey, hello, hello. Everyone's popping up. How's everyone doing today? This fine Saturday morning or evening? Hi, hello. Where's everyone from? I'm so curious. Let's start with that. That's my question for y'all before you start asking me questions. Ah, thanks so much. Oh, Richmond. Hey, from the UK. Ooh, woo. All these. How long did it take to get your roaches to the size? Hold on one second. Alabama. Okay, I got a friend from there. Australia. I want to go there. Washington, Utah, Michigan, Massachusetts, North Carolina, South Carolina. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's so awesome. People from all over. Pennsylvania, Nevada. Yes. Just keep popping them up, and I'm gonna start answering questions too. But I just don't stop telling me where you're from though, because I love that. Maryland, Kentucky, North Carolina, Colorado. Yes, I love it. Okay, let me go back up. Somebody asked how long it took for me to get my roaches that size. So actually, this colony that I have is almost 3 years old now, and they've been breeding like you wouldn't believe. Um, because they've been breeding so much, I'm actually probably going to start selling them soon, but that'll be a little later. Um, but it took about from the first, because I started with a large, like the adult size, of a couple males, a couple females, and then they started having babies. And from baby to adulthood, it took about, I want to say like a few months. I don't really remember, to be quite honest. Like, I don't really pay attention anymore. I remember it took a little while at first for them to really fully mature, and I was getting frustrated. But once they started going, and I already had some mature ones, it just kept coming, and it was like, whoa, slow down. So it takes them a little while to mature, but also they seem to mature a little quicker if you actually feed them the right nutrients and stuff like that as well. So it also depends on how you're taking care of them. Aw, I'm the reason why you're getting a bearded dragon, the Donut Factory. That's an awesome name, first off, and that's so sweet. I'm so happy to hear it. Good luck to you and your dragon. I think I'm gonna get a baby bearded in Washington, not DC today. That's so awesome. You should totally send the picture of the dragon to one of my social media. If you have Snapchat, that's probably one I'm most responsive on because, well, because not many people contact me there as much as like Instagram and YouTube and all the other places. Pennsylvania, Nevada, Maryland. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Florida, Holland, Michigan, UK. Oh my goodness. So many people from all over. I love it. We have two in the same Viv sisters. I am very much about you should not cohab. Um, but just because of the risks that come with it. But I can't tell you what to do. That's just my 2 cents on it. But that's super cute. In Midlothian, that's awesome. Scotland, Glasgow, Delaware. How do I get my bearded dragon to drink water? Is it true that they can absorb water through their skin? No, they cannot absorb water through their skin. They are not frogs. That is actually a myth. There's also a myth that they can, I believe it's absorb it through their vents and cloaca. That's like by their butt and everything. They don't absorb water through there. They don't absorb water that way. The way that they get water is through their food intake. So their bugs need to be well hydrated. You need to make sure that their bugs are gut loaded and also have water crystals and a lot of food that, like, for example, scraps from the lizard's salad. You need to give them things that hydrate them, along with like the dragon. They need to have things that have water content in it, like greens are really, really important for that reason, and veggies and fruits occasionally. But like everything needs to be well hydrated because if their food is well hydrated, they're not going to really seek water elsewhere. Occasionally they will, but if they're drinking a lot of water outside of what their food source is, that is a tall tale sign that you are not giving enough water in their diet. And you can easily fix that. So that's how you get them to drink. I mean, they don't really drink water like that in the wild. Like they can, obviously, like they do drink water, but generally they get it from their food source. So if they're getting enough from their food source, they won't need to drink water like that, if that makes sense. But this is also why you give them baths, little soaks every twice a week. So they can choose to drink water that way. It cleans off everything. So yeah. How are you? Well, I'm doing well. How are you doing? I got two basic beauties and two translucents because of you. Aww. Basic beauties. There's no such thing as basic. They're all beautiful. I know what you're saying though. It's called a normal, and I have two normals. There's, I mean, nothing. I mean, I don't want to say nothing special because that's such a terrible thing to say, but there's nothing like different about, like, they are just called normals. Like there's nothing extra. I should say extra. That's a better way to say it because they are all special. How long does it take to get your roach colony going? Well, it all depends on the care. So me, when I first started my roach colony, I was not giving as much nutrients as I could have, so my colony didn't flourish as much as it could have. So, um, for me, it took, gosh, at least like 5, 6 months, half a year, basically, almost a full year for it to fully like get like going. I think it's because I also didn't start with a large amount of roaches either. You need to start with, like, the more adult roaches you start with, obviously the more they're gonna pop out. And again, like, care also goes into it. So it just depends. Like, all of that depends on you, really. How many superworms can 3-month-old bearded dragon? How many superworms can a 3-month-old bearded dragon eat in a week? And how many pieces? I don't know what you mean by pieces. um, but how many superworms can a 3-month-old bearded dragon eat? I would not be feeding superworms to a 3-month-old bearded dragon, nor would I be feeding mealworms to a 3-month-old bearded dragon, simply because they are hard to digest. These I would only be feeding to an adult dragon. Uh, Mealworms I wouldn't feed at all, to be quite honest, because I don't. If you've watched me long enough, I am very much against them. I don't feed them at all. I don't think they should ever be fed. They are harmful and have no benefit at all. Um, Superworms, they are the better end of mealworms. I do actually feed superoos myself, but they are a treat, not a staple. You should only feed them as a treat. But then again, you should only be feeding it to an adult because they are so hard to digest. They're also bigger. Um, I just really would not feed it to a 3-month-old. I would wait until they're at least, like, I don't know, depending on their size, like 8 months to a year old. What should I do to make my baby bearded dragon eat? Um, they should have an appetite, like, especially for bugs. Like, if they are not searching for bugs, then that is a sign that there is something, either they have an illness or something about the enclosure isn't correct. Or if you just got them, they are still adjusting. But I really, really, really would make sure that, like, your temps and everything are correct. Because that, if they aren't warm enough, they aren't really going to want to eat. And they can't digest it properly. They also can't function properly. So make sure your temps are correct. And oh, 110, 95 to 90 to like 110 on the hot side, and around 80 to 85 on the cool side. Those are your temps. I got my third bearded dragon 1 week ago. That's awesome. Why don't you use mealworms? Because they are harmful, hard to digest, and can injure and or kill your dragon. I unfortunately had a dragon pass to that. And that was my fault, but that's actually one of the reasons why I started that's actually the reason like I started the channel. I'm watching with my bearded. That's awesome. I have my own bearded dragon with me. That's awesome. Do you have any tips to take care of crickets? I just got my little one and her name is Freya, but she prefers crickets and I need to start cage for crickets. So I actually have a whole video that I actually created last weekend on how to take care of feeders and how to take care of them, and crickets was one of them covered. So if you go to that video, it'll help you. I have a female bearded dragon, Athena, and she has been going crazy in our tank. She could possibly be gravid. If you don't know what gravid means, go to my videos and watch what that is. It basically means that they are egg bearing. It doesn't always mean that they are fertile eggs, but sometimes that activity can mean many different things. But I also have a video on glass surfing, all the different reasons for glass surfing, and that's what that's called. So go watch that video and it like goes over a whole bunch of things for you. I'm here in New York. Awesome. I've been to New York before. How often do you clean the dubia enclosure? So, this depends on me and how I procrastinate or how attentive I am. Honestly, you should clean it uh, at least like twice a month, so every other week, depending on how many bugs you have. So at my level, with all of the roaches I have, like I have a whole rack system and I have like a huge bin. So me, I need to be cleaning it twice a month. When I first started it, I only needed to clean it like once a month. So it really depends on how many you have. You also need to make sure that you're like really disinfecting and everything and have a place to put the roaches outside of the bin. You should not be cleaning the bin with the roaches in it. That totally negates the whole purpose. So just keep that in mind. Ooh, Ohio, that's awesome. Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone that's coming in. Also, thank you for the donation. I'm not sure who sent it, but thank you so much. I'm here from Wisconsin. That's awesome. Hello. Hello, everyone. Is it true bearded dragons carry salmonella? So, here's the thing with that. A lot of people love to just go on my channel and comment in the comments when I have videos on me kissing my dragons specifically. They're like, "Ma, you're gonna get salmonella." Wrong. You will only get salmonella if you get their feces in your mouth. So yes, they do carry it. But the thing is you're not going to catch it unless you eat their feces. Um, yeah, so just don't eat their fecal matter. Don't lick their buttholes, and you'll be fine. Okay? Okay. No, you also need to make sure that you clean them, make sure you scrub. You shouldn't have any fecal matter on their body for you to get in your mouth. You also need to make sure you are practicing proper hygiene, and you won't have any issues that way. You'll be perfectly fine. I mean, I have been kissing all my dragons and handling them, hugging them, having them next to my face and everything like that for years now, and I have never gotten sick from my babies, never gotten salmonella, none of that. So it's really about proper hygiene. I'm interested in learning the issue of having two dragons together. So, cohabiting, the issue with that is they are solitary creatures. You should not have them in the same tank. By nature, they don't cohabitate. They are animals that like to have their certain area and they will get defensive and fight for that area. Okay? They will also fight for that food source. That is just the way they are wired. So when you have two dragons in a tank, they can be in a tank for the longest time. They can be in the tank for years and be perfectly fine. And then all of a sudden, just start bickering at each other, snapping at each other, biting each other, nipping at each other, whapping each other with each other's tails. It can happen in an instant. You should not have them cohabitated. In very, very rare, I mean, rare circumstances can it work. For me, I shouldn't have ever cohabbed when I started the channel. I didn't know about cohabbing, but they were cohabs and I had them that way. And I did try to separate them. but they started to have like they just stopped functioning, and I didn't understand why. And so I had them together for the longest, but I did separate them eventually when Belly got sick, and I noticed she was getting sick because that's also another issue. If you have two in the same tank, one gets ill, that is just putting the other in danger. So I did the best thing I could and separated them, even if they were going to have that I don't know what you want to call it, separation anxiety, which they don't have that brain function. So I don't understand, like it really just it phases me. It really phases me. But yes, so you shouldn't have them cohabit because they will and can fight each other. There have been many dragons that have gotten injured, lost tails, lost their lives, um, lost many other appendages, gotten eaten by the other dragon. You really should not cohabit for those reasons. It's not a good idea. And I cannot stress that enough, but I can't tell you what to do. So this is just the fact of what happens. That's how they're wired, and that's just how the wild is. And this is also why if you have dragons, like for example, I have my female and my male dragon in the same room, but they are barricaded so they can't see each other, because if they see each other, they're going to start getting black-bearded and agitated because they want to fight for the territory, even though they're not in each other's territory. That's just how they're wired. So I hope that makes sense. You're the person who I'd trust to hold my drink at a party. I absolutely, I just love that. I want to, can I screenshot that. Thank you. Yes, that is amazing. That is, thank you. That means a lot. I have a 2-year-old beardy named Thor. Ooh, sounds like a strong little one. That's awesome. Don't worry if they don't eat, probably uncomfortable. Probably haven't adjusted yet. I love your hair so much. Oh, thanks. I'm having a real good hair day before. Well, about 2 days ago, it was just from the humidity. Whew, the struggle of curly hair. If I want to get another dragon, where should I get one from? Because I have a female, but I want to get a male bearded dragon to pair up with my female bearded dragon Athena. I if you have two dragons and you're trying to mate them, and this is I have a very strong opinion on this. You should not mate any dragon or animal at all if you do not have the genetic history. So if you do not have the genetic history of these dragons, I would not mate them. Simply because this is something that I call, a term that I put in my mind is bedroom breeding, simply because there's so many genetic defects that can occur, and things like dragons dropping at the age of 1 and like nobody knows what's wrong, but it's something internal, or it's something that there's just so many things that can happen if you don't know the genetic history, and it can be, it can cause issues later on for that dragon. It's not fair for those dragons. So if you don't have the genetic history, 100% I say do not breed. Also, I say don't breed if you don't have all the knowledge on it. I'm sure you have researched, but just keep that in mind. As far as if you're trying to get something to breed, I would definitely go to try to, like a breeder. You need to go to a breeder or something. Get something with a birth certificate, history, blood, something. Yes. I give my bearded dragon water, of course, but to keep him hydrated, I give him some cucumber every now and then without the skin. I wouldn't give the skin, well, I mean, it really doesn't matter. The skin of a cucumber isn't really going to hurt them, but I don't feed the skin of the cucumber. But the cucumber is really great to give for water content. That is good. Just don't feed it all the time, because this can, of course, give them runny poos because of all the water content and all that. Why don't you use mealworms? Watch my OP tribute video. My bearded dragon was spayed. Were any of yours spayed? No, my dragon Belly, we were about to get her spayed, but we didn't go through with it because it's such a risky procedure, and the place that I was at was not feeling comfortable with it. So I was like, I'm not comfortable if you're not comfortable. But honestly, with that, we weren't. My video on the sad truth about vets really explains that whole entire story. I don't want to cry today, so that's that story if you want to go watch it. But no, I have not had any of my dragons spayed. Rip Opie, yes, thank you so much. Oh, there we are, Bryant Carroll. Thanks so much for the donation. All right, let me go down. Feeding our dubious carrots, is that what could be causing my dragon's reduced appetite? No, but with the dubias, you should definitely be feeding more than just carrots. They need to be gut loaded. Like carrots is not enough. You need to feed lots of protein and actual like gut loaded. Like if you go on Amazon, you can actually find like bug chow or dubia chow, roach chow, stuff like that. They need to be gut loaded. Um, Plus also giving like salad scraps and stuff like that because it gives the extra nutrients and it's like that energy booster that your dragon needs along with the of course nutrients in them. Why are my bearded dragon's eyes droopy? Okay, so droopy eyes can mean a couple different things. Sometimes that's just a natural trait of the dragon. Sometimes that can mean that they are upset, like if it's just like saggy. So if you go to what your bearded dragon is trying to tell you series, I think I cover it in the first or second video of that series on what a droopy eye is. Um, it can mean they're upset. It can mean that they're ill. It can also mean that that's just natural. Um, so yes, no problem, Brutal Fangs TV. I agree. Are Mario worms okay for babies? Okay, so Mario worms. This is something that I don't know if it's really different than mealworms or superworms. They look the same to me. I don't know the difference. I've never fed them. I've never bought anything that says Morio worms. So I don't exactly know, but by the look of it, um, it looks like they aren't much different. I wouldn't be feeding them to a baby, but I also don't know the size. So basically, I don't know on that one. Um, but with them, they look like superworms or mealworms, but I don't know if they're because mealworms are smaller than supers, but I don't, neither should be fed to a baby. So I'm just going to go ahead and say no for that. That's my default answer. Hi, I'm 13 and I have a beardie named Pixie. She's about a year old. I was wondering what to do if she doesn't eat her collards. I've literally tried everything, but she just won't eat them. So, dragons have preferences. Your dragon might not like collard greens. Have you tried other greens? Have you tried things that will get them to eat the greens, like bee pollen? Have you tried putting juice on there? Oh, thanks for another donation. I'm not sure who it was, but thank you. Have you tried wiggling around the greens? I have a video actually on how to get your dragon to eat greens. Also, I have a video that I did with Elle's Reptiles on um, I think it's salads your dragon will actually eat. I can't remember the title, but if you go look at that, there are two videos there for your resource. There are many different ways you can get them to eat. Me personally, the only way I can get my dragons to eat their salad is by like wiggling it with my finger in the morning until they come and get it. Sometimes they just go and get it, but usually I have to wiggle my finger. I get all my tips from you. That's awesome. Tweez1027. Thanks so much. I'm getting a bearded dragon in like a week. Do you have any tips and name ideas? I don't have any name ideas. That is just something that I pull off the bat of like seeing an animal. Like I have Greek Greek god and goddess names for all of my animals, except for Piernes. That is just because I don't know. It's something that I just came up with on the spot. Do do do. My beard, let me see. I'm in Oregon. That's so awesome. Let me go down some. So many messages. I love it. Do-do-do. Okay. Is it normal for a beardie to not eat during shed? She is 3 months old and I'm worried. Yes, it is normal for them to not eat as much during shed because they're agitated. Think about it. If you're itchy all the time, just physically uncomfortable in your own skin and want to just like, would you want to eat as much? Would you be focusing on the food as much? They have like very one track minds, if you haven't noticed. So if that is agitating enough, they're not going to be focusing on their appetite. So it is very normal for them to not really be eating as much, and also be a little feisty. So don't take that to heart. But I would also make sure that your temps and everything are correct. Um, they look fine, they have proper behavior and all of that to make sure they're not sick, because some people do mistake all of that. My bearded dragon is growing very fast. Yes, they grow super quickly if you are giving them the correct care. I have a bearded dragon named Toothless, going to 6 or 7 months old soon. Sunday, I'm getting a male albino leopard gecko. That's so awesome! I want a leopard gecko so bad. My next baby will either be a leopard gecko or a crested gecko. I don't know which one yet. Or honestly, I have a habit of taking the animal that needs it the most. So I might go for a gecko and come back with a skink. Who knows? With me, you never know. Ah, thanks so much for subbing, Danny Napier. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm so sorry. My two beardies are named Stoic and Zoe. That's awesome. Love your channel. Thanks so much, Kaya. My bearded dragon is called Isco. That's awesome. Or Isco. I don't know which one it's pronounced. Do beardies like being in blanket burritos, just for future reference during showers? During showers? I hope you're not putting them in a blanket burrito in the shower. And they can also be in the tank while you're in the shower. But for that, I mean, it depends on the dragon. Some dragons don't like being wrapped up, some do. Some find it comfortable, some don't. It just depends on the dragon. Try it and see if the dragon likes it. My Aether only likes it when he's super tired and at nighttime. And my Nixie, loves it all the time. And she's a Eurymastix, but she does not like being wrapped up. My Inyo is over here. So yes. Let me see. I have a few more minutes, you guys. Thank you, Jeremy Pond, for the donation. I'm so happy I helped. My dragon does not eat any vegetables. This is a struggle for a lot of people with older dragons, or honestly baby dragons. But the thing is the best chance is to get them eating it as babies. Get them interested as babies, and you will have a much easier time as adults. Because once they're adults, they're already like, what is this? I've never seen it before. I don't want it. I like bugs, but they need to eat the veggies and all of that. They need the salad. So just keep trying different methods and trying different veggies and fruits. If you haven't seen the videos on how to get them to eat salad or salads that they'll actually eat, go watch those videos. Some of those tips might help for you. I think the only thing that I didn't include in those videos was putting bee pollen on the salad. But the reason is because bee pollen is great and everything, but it can cause fatty liver disease and it can cause other issues. It should not be fed on a regular basis. It should only be fed in small quantities and on occasion. So, for example, with all of my babies, I can feed each and every one of them bee pollen, but I only give them bee pollen about twice a week, because I don't want the chance of fatty liver disease or any other weight gain issues. Because dragons are in captivity, these dragons are in captivity, they're much more likely to gain weight easier because they don't have as much exercise. I mean, food is just readily available. They don't actually have to hunt for anything. So just keep that in mind. You just should not feed it a lot. So twice a week, I would say max for bee pollen. My boy is so stubborn, he always wants out. Yes, they can be like that. They can definitely be like that. Ooh, my puppy is barking in the background. I think someone's here. All right. No, no, dog or cat food. No dog or cat food. I hope you're not feeding dog or cat food to a dragon. The only thing that should be getting wet dog food or cat food would be a blue tongue skink. Maybe other lizards, I don't know, but that's the one that I know of that eats that on a regular basis. Blue tongues. What works can you feed a 7-month-old dragon? What works can you feed a 7-month-old dragon? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, I'll be honest. But I have a whole feeding list. And yeah, I have a whole feeding list on my channel. I also have a feeding like guide for juvenile dragons and adult dragons on my channel. So I hope that helps. All right, let me scale to the bottom. Hold on. Is Mealworms good for juvenile? Wow, thank you so much for the donation. Oh my gosh. Ah! Thank you, Lauren. And yes, definitely improve the diet. And thank you, Jeremy, again. Are wee worms good for juvenile bearded dragons? Wee worms. I'm not sure what wee worms are. Oh! Send me a picture. If you send me a picture in the nutrition facts, I will be able to tell you. Send it to, if you have Snapchat, that is the fastest one I'll reply to. If you have Instagram, I'm pretty sure you're on Instagram. I recognize your name. Um, Send me something on Instagram. Send me a picture. Autocorrect. Am I missing anyone? Ah, thank you so much. Jeremy Pond again. Wow. You're you're being real generous. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I do really have to go. I love all of y'all as always. From my family to yours, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Also, I wanted to mention that on my website, www.lizardguru.com, I have a few more of those stickers left. I think it's like 5 of each left now, and they're only $3.50. If you want those, I also have only a few of the Caribbean scented soaps left for your lizard if you want a safe lizard soap for your dragon that I specifically made for my aether that had blue dye on him that I couldn't get off, but I got it off this way. It's super hydrating. It's also good for people. I have not had to put lotion on my hands in a really long time, and it's fantastic. So, guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Stay tuned for next week's video. I will be doing a video next week. It'll be an actual edited video. Bye, and thank you again for all the donations. Mwah! And there we go. Bye, y'all.